Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the OpenGL chess game video series. In this video we'll be setting up OpenGL and its required libraries so that we can actually get started on doing some real work. So what do we need to actually use OpenGL? Oh, by the way, if you do notice that my CMake is a bit different with this new line, it's just for me, I need compile commands for auto-completion to work perfectly. You might not need to depending on your setup, but I need to, so I just put it in there. If you do have troubles with auto-completion, whether you're using Vim, Visual Studio Code, or whatever, do look into this. Anyway, our goal here is to enrich the CMake list file so that we won't need to keep editing it all the time for libraries and stuff. We just need to get everything we need. So let's do that. We'll say, first of all, there's a minimum version required of CMake, and it's going to be 3.10. This is good practice, so that when someone else downloads your repository and wants to build it, they don't face troubles with like CMake and stuff. They're just saying, hey, I need this version. If you don't have it, you can't build it. We'll go over into fine-tuning and picking a very specific version, maybe if we need to, but for now this is satisfactory. Then we need to get actual linking stuff. So all that is done using target link libraries. This function takes in your target, so chess games like we did here, and then the stuff we want to link into it. So what do we need? First of all, we need the OpenGL implementation, we need glue, we need GLFW. These two exist on your system, this does not. So we're going to go over all the ways to link. Actually, each one of them is linked differently. Like a lot of times libraries will be linked the exact same way, but for our case, each of them will be linked very differently. So let's start with the simplest one, which is the actual OpenGL. That's it. It's just -l-gl. So -link gl as in OpenGL. And we're done with this segment. Now we need glue. Glue is a bit more involved. We need to find it and we need to use it and blah, 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 blah. So how do we get on with it? We can use a very, very convenient function in CMake called findPackage. And we're just going to say, hey, find glue, and it's required. That's it. We found it. Now to actually link it, we need to do -l glue. And we need this. This is where we're getting it from. We're getting it from the findPackage. We're saying, hey, there's this glue thing that we need. And we need all the libraries involved in glue. And now we linked glue. We're done with glue. Finally, there is GLFW. Now, GLFW is external. It does not exist on your system. It's some people made it and they put it on GitHub for our convenience. So let's just grab their code. But before that, I want you to notice that they have a CMake lists text, which is why it's going to be so easy to integrate their code into ours. So what we need is we need to add them as a dependency. And how we do that is I like to make a dependency folder, go into it, and grab the nice people's code, which is at https://github.com, glfw. And what git clone is, it's basically download. Like, hey, just download this repository. This specific repository. Just download it here. And you'll notice like all the files that they had are actually right in our system. Every single file they had and its history is now in our system, which is convenient. But we need one more thing, which is git submodule add GLFW. This is where you find it, and save it at deps GLFW. I cannot type English words, which is fantastic. Anyway, adding existing repository to the index. So now we say, hey, I'm using this repository. That's where it's located if you want to go check it out, etc. So now we need to actually link it. So we go to our CMake and we head here and we say add subdirectory deps GLFW, which is where you saved it. And then here you can just simply say GLFW. And that's it. That's all you need. Add subdirectory worked because they do have a CMake lists file. That's why it was so easy to just add it in and take it. So now to make sure that everything's like linked properly, we can head to build and we can actually make. You're gonna see this time make took a while because it was building GLFW, but next time you run make, it's gonna be fast because this is all cached. Again, super convenient. CMake is very, very, very convenient. And now we'll check that it's working. This is the scary step. So we need a few things. We need to initialize GLFW. And GLFW will be in charge of creating a window for us. So that's the first thing we'll want to get out of it. Is GLFW create window. It needs a width, a height, a title, so testing OpenGL. It needs a monitor. If you have multiple monitors, do look into this. If you do not, then this is not relevant to you. And don't worry about share. This is for sharing the context for multiple windows, and this will be in more advanced tutorials maybe. So just keep it like this. These three are what you're gonna be playing with for now. Or if you have a multiple monitor setup, then these four. Then we need to say that this window is where we want to drop. This is the window with the context that we want. And only after that you've created a window and made its context current, that's the only time that you can actually go ahead and initialize glue. So we'll say if glue init. Now if it's not there, that's fine. Just need to include it naturally. So if glue init is not okay, then we're going to return something other than 0, and we're going to say, I'll just keep like a proper status code, and we'll say something went wrong. And also, we're going to set glue experimental to true. Now, don't worry about this line too much. It's just to get on with our work, and then later on when we have a more stable like code base and stuff like that, then we won't need the experimental. Now, glue experimental is like a boolean. Like if you're familiar, like you can just do bool a whatever. It's a boolean, but with OpenGL libraries, they try to use their own types. So like GL boolean instead of normal boolean, and GL int and stuff like that. So you're gonna need to get used to seeing stuff like this. So instead of like true, you're gonna say GL true, and it might look ugly. I agree, but this is what we're gonna be sticking with for now. Anyway, let's make sure it worked. This is the real step over here. If you do make, it links properly, and then you open it, and nothing, like it just opens a window and then it goes away. You're done. You have properly linked everything. And that's the video for today. Now, if you do check out the repository after, when you look at the dependencies, you'll notice that it's kind of interesting how like it's not really a folder, it's like a link to the repository. So do check out the repo. I'll be writing like a readme file about and stuff like that. So yeah,